Hey guys, so today we're talking about Glossier. Now, what's so interesting about Glossier other than they have built an incredible empire and platform? Well, they were in the news last week for two really interesting things. The first was an article on Wrap talking about how Glossier is being hit with a American with Disabilities Act lawsuit, and the lawsuit is because people are unable to purchase products through Glossier's site because they're unable to have the read the text on the screen functionality. Now, this is a really interesting thing that they were in the news for, simply because a lot of e-commerce sites don't actually think about how people with disabilities are using websites, right? And how they're actually able to consume that content. If you guys are familiar with your iPhones, there are settings inside of your iPhones that allow you to be able to have the text be read off the screen back to you as a consumer. And if the text on the screen is not able to be read, or it's not legible in that way, then unfortunately someone cannot be consuming that product, or they cannot be understanding or hearing that content. So Glossier is being hit with the potential class action lawsuit regarding specifically not being able to use the website in order to convert and make a purchase. Now, those of you guys out there who have businesses and who have websites, obviously e-commerce, trying to do transactions, you might be asking yourself, oh my gosh, how do I actually react to that? How can I make a difference with my website? It's pretty simple, guys. You want to take a back end look, make sure that your site is able to be read by basic kinds of functionality, meaning it has the text to screen. You can actually just try implementing that with your iPhone, meaning, hey, can you read the screen, and make sure that you're able to make purchases through that. And otherwise, guys, it's very important. We oftentimes are so concerned about getting our businesses off the ground and making sales. However, when you actually do start making sales and business is booming, you have to really make sure that you're covering all of your bases, right? So that includes things like the upcoming GDPR, the data regulation protection stuff that's now going to be actually affecting all e-commerce businesses in the next few days, right? We want to make sure that all of you guys are staying protected and making sure that your businesses are up to code and regulation. Because imagine if everything that you've been working so hard to do all of a sudden gets a fine, or you get in trouble, right? We certainly don't want that. So make sure you guys actually take a look on our newsletter. We did a great little write-up about ways in which you can protect yourself and be GDPR compliant. Now, the second reason why Glossier was written about had to do on Business of Fashion, and that to talk about Glossier's global expansion strategy. Now, as you guys might know, the article cited that Glossier is now doing up to 8 figures out in the UK. Now they're going to be expanding into other markets, which is really exciting in Europe. Now they're going to be approaching this through a very similar strategy as they've done so far in the US, which is basically drive people towards experiential brick and mortar, get these pop-ups going, get people excited about the brand, let them touch and feel it, and then really start to dive in deep with better distribution and 3PL channels to get the product and get delivery and service down. Now, what's interesting about this, guys, is it really just goes to show that launching globally requires a really smart type of strategy. You can't just, again, simply turn on your site and say, hey, we're shipping everywhere. We must be a global business. Going global means, tapping into those specific markets and then making sure that you're actually able to satisfy that, right? And so I think that that is something that is really important as you start to look at businesses that are launching and kind of going into it in a much bigger scale, right? So it's not just about turning on your shipping, it's about really making sure that there is an impact for the business, right? Making sure that people have a touch point, that they see, feel, and hear about your business in a way that makes a lot of sense and that's organic. So they'll be shipping to Ireland, they're opening up in Sweden, in France and Denmark. Very, very exciting news for Glossier. Personally, I'm a fan of the product. I think it's a great line. I think their marketing communication is great. But I think it's important to understand here, and taking a cue from their book, guys, that we really need to make sure that we are not just tapping into opening up shipping and making sure that we're selling from a shipping standpoint, but we've got to make sure that we're able to actually tap into the brand extension and the on-the-ground marketing in order to make sure it kind of closes the gap. All right, guys, have fun this week. Really excited to see what else happens in the world of Glossier, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.